Dom, I'm not just coming for you. I'm coming for everyone you've ever loved.
Being in, and nobody's getting out.
We don't get second chances, Han, so don't waste this one.
That vault wasn't just money, Dom. It was my family's blood, and you dragged it through the streets like a trophy.
The Fast and Furious franchise has become one of the most recognizable and dominant action series in modern cinema, and the announcement of Fast X, Part 2 has brought with it an enormous wave of anticipation from fans all over the world. Known for its explosive car chases, jaw-dropping stunts, emotional family drama, and larger-than-life villains, the saga has redefined what audiences expect from high-octane blockbusters. The continuation of the story left off at a massive cliffhanger in Fast X, and now Part 2 promises to bring answers, action, and an emotional payoff that has been years in the making. For more than 2 decades, audiences have watched Dominic Toretto and his family evolve from street racers to international operatives fighting against some of the most dangerous forces on the planet. With this new installment, the stakes are higher than ever, and fans know they are in for the most intense ride yet. One of the biggest reasons the Fast saga continues to draw crowds is its ensemble cast, and Fast X, Part 2 is no exception. Returning to the forefront is Vin Diesel as Dominic Toretto, the heart and soul of the franchise, whose loyalty to family and resilience against all odds remains the anchor of the series. Michelle Rodriguez reprises her role as Letty Ortiz, Dom's fearless partner, and one of the most iconic female action heroes in cinema. Tyrese Gibson is back as Roman Pierce, bringing both comedy and action as the wisecracking member of the crew. Chris, Ludacris, Bridges once again returns as Tej Parker, the tech wizard with a flair for speed. Natalie Emanuel is also set to reprise her role as Ramsey, the genius hacker who has become an indispensable part of Dom's extended family. Of course, the villains are as important as the heroes in these films, and Jason Momoa's Dante is set to continue his reign of chaos. Introduced as one of the most flamboyant and dangerous antagonists the series has ever seen, Dante's vendetta against Dom and his crew has left fans eager to see how far he will go in his pursuit of vengeance. Brie Larson also returns as Tess, a mysterious figure tied to the agency, who has been working to help Dom's team from the shadows. With John Cena reprising his role as Jacob Toretto, Dom's brother, who shifted from rival to ally, fans will see how this complicated sibling bond evolves further in Part 2. Additionally, Sung Kang as Han, Jordana Brewster as Mia Toretto, and Jason Statham as Deckard Shaw all round out the beloved cast, ensuring the entire family is back together for one more wild adventure. The plot of Fast X, Part 2 is where the excitement truly builds. At the end of Fast X, audiences were left on the edge of their seats as Dante launched a devastating attack on Dom and his family. The movie ended with multiple cliffhangers. Dom and his son Brian were left in peril as a dam exploded. Roman, Tej, Han, and Ramsey were stranded with no clear way out, and Letty and Cypher were facing unknown dangers in the icy wilderness. Fast X, Part 2 picks up right from this moment, showing the consequences of Dante's meticulous plan and Dom's determination to fight back. Dom's journey in Part 2 is expected to be his most personal yet. For the first time, he finds himself not just fighting to protect his family, but also grappling with the possibility of losing everything. Dante, who thrives on tormenting his enemies by breaking their bonds, has strategically positioned himself to dismantle Dom's crew piece by piece. Each member of the family will have their own arc, from survival to redemption, making this installment not just a story of action, but one of resilience, unity, and sacrifice. The movie also explores the global scale of their mission, taking the characters from explosive city chases to breathtaking mountain escapes, and even deep into underground networks of crime and espionage. Fans can expect an array of mind-blowing action sequences, cars leaping between skyscrapers, combat scenes that blend martial arts with close-quarters gunplay, and of course, massive chase sequences featuring muscle cars, motorcycles, helicopters, and even futuristic tech that pushes the limits of imagination. What sets this film apart is how it merges its spectacle with the emotional arcs of its characters. Dom's relationship with his son Brian becomes a central thread, highlighting the theme of legacy. Letty's survival instincts and unwavering love continue to keep her side by side with Dom, while Roman and Tej provide moments of levity even in the darkest situations. Han, long believed dead before his return, faces new challenges that test his loyalty and force him to confront demons from his past. Cypher, once the most feared villain, now plays a complex role as both ally and wildcard, ensuring audiences never know exactly where her loyalties lie. As the story unfolds, alliances are tested, betrayals are revealed, and the concept of family is pushed to its ultimate limit. Every major character has a moment to shine, and the film carefully balances their arcs while never losing sight of the grand conflict between Dom and Dante. This battle is not just physical but psychological, as Dante represents chaos and revenge, while Dom represents order and love for family. Their inevitable face-off will likely become one of the most iconic clashes in franchise history. Fast X, Part 2 also takes time to honor the legacy of Paul Walker's character, Brian O'Connor. While Paul Walker's tragic passing left a hole in the series, the filmmakers have continued to treat his character with respect and care. Fans can expect touching tributes that keep Brian's spirit alive, reminding everyone of the roots of the saga and the importance of brotherhood and loyalty. The release date of Fast X, Part 2 has been highly anticipated, with Universal Pictures setting it as one of the biggest blockbuster events of its year. Positioned to dominate the summer release schedule, the film aims to bring fans back to theaters for a shared cinematic experience full of cheers, gasps, and applause. The timing of its release ensures it will face competition from other major franchises, but the Fast saga has proven time and again that it can hold its own at the global box office. The trailer for Fast X, Part 2 has only fueled the hype further. Featuring adrenaline-pumping sequences, glimpses of jaw-dropping stunts, and powerful emotional beats, it teases the grand finale without giving too much away. Viewers see Dom behind the wheel in impossible situations, Dante laughing maniacally as he unleashes chaos, and the family fighting for survival against all odds. Explosive visuals paired with dramatic lines about family, loyalty, and sacrifice make it clear that this film is not just another entry, it's the culmination of years of storytelling. The trailer also hints at surprising cameos, shocking twists, and perhaps even the return of characters believed gone, ensuring fans will speculate endlessly before the film hits theaters. What makes this franchise resonate beyond its action is its emphasis on heart. Beneath the roaring engines and fiery explosions, these films have always been about love, friendship, and loyalty. Fast X, Part 2 doubles down on that legacy, ensuring audiences not only leave the theater in awe of the stunts, but also deeply moved by the story. This blend of spectacle and emotion is why the saga has endured and why fans eagerly await every installment. Fast X, Part 2 is not just a movie, it is an event, a cultural moment, and a celebration of everything the Fast and Furious series has built over the last 2 decades. It represents the bond between fans and the characters they have grown with, delivering a cinematic ride that is meant to be experienced on the biggest screen possible. With its explosive action, star-studded cast, emotional storytelling, and the promise of closure to one of the most beloved franchises of our time, this installment is poised to become a monumental chapter in film history. As the credits roll on Fast X, Part 2, audiences will likely feel a mix of emotions: the thrill of an unforgettable ride, the joy of seeing their favorite characters triumph, and the bittersweet realization that the saga is nearing its final lap. Yet, like Dom says, the road never ends, it only changes direction. And for fans, the legacy of the Fast and Furious family will live on forever.